What up, ghouls and mansters, Koizi here. I have another video for Monster High's 15th anniversary. Remember, when I said that Monster High 2 was the franchise's last movie for a while? Oh, I did say that. Well, that doesn't mean there's no more Monster High movies. Remember when Illumination, the studio that made the Super Mario Bros. Movie, was in talks with Mattel to make an animated Barbie movie? Oh, that's still happening right now. But maybe they are deciding to make a Monster High movie instead. That's what I'm here to pitch. Ladies, gentlemen and other genders, here is what Monster High would be like as an Illumination movie. Or, should I say, my pitch for Monster High seniors. Starting things off, every movie needs a story, right? That includes Monster High films as well, even if they are straight to DVD. But with this hypothetical, theatrically released movie, we have to go bigger. This film will be about 2 hours long, and will be a straightforward high school comedy with 4 acts. Also, to spice things up, the movie will introduce new characters into this franchise: Scarlet Crow, daughter of the Scarecrow, and Gerald Chicken, son of the Cockatrice, and Scarlet Crow is the main protagonist. The first act is about Scarlet, a new exchange student coming into Monster High, and the original ghouls get to be her tour guides to the school. After her first day of school, she moves in with Gerald Chicken, and they become roommates. That's because this new ghoul at school moves to the monster realm by herself from the human realm. That's where she came to life, and moving into that monster realm, she thought the school had dorm rooms, but the school does not. That assumption is a reference to the other 2 generations. That's right, Monster High Seniors is mainly an adaptation of Generation 1. But, at the end of this first act, Scarlet realizes that, well, since she is an exchange student, she is the same grade as the original ghouls, hence the title, Monster High Seniors. Yep, that's right, the majority of the original Monster High characters you know and love are all 12th grade. Gerald is 9th grade, making him a freshman. The second act is about 2 competitions, a basketball game, where Scarlet learns cheerleading, and then a swimming competition, where she joins Laguna's team against an alien high school. The second act will have some iconic moments of its own, in between the competitions, such as the teenage Scarecrow actually getting to learn stuff, a Yo Mama battle between Claudine and Toralei, and a Boo Year's Eve party with the wolves. The third act is about the senior prom, and there will be shopping sequences during this act. However, this third act is where things get intense. There are some moments that will shape both Scarlet Crow's character arc and the heart of the entire movie, which stays true to the message of the entire franchise. The fourth act will be an emotional 30+ minutes, where the stakes are at their highest for our teenage monsters. It's about an incoming dimensional paradox, which has something to do with Scarlet, but since this is just a pitch, I cannot spoil what happens in this fourth act. However, the ghouls do graduate from Monster High at the end as the class of 2013. But then, there's a pre-credits scene setting up a spin-off film based on a certain companion franchise that's gaining quite a cult following. This 4-act story is not only cohesive, but it will give Monster High the Super Mario Bros. Treatment, which is what Illumination was talking about with their take on Barbie. As a comedy, this film will have a mix of wacky expressions, teen-related slapstick, mature innuendos that high schoolers can relate to, monster puns being used as swearing, and a good dose of pop culture references. But at the same time, as a teen movie, the film will have tender moments that high schoolers, especially the ones that are exchange students, can resonate a lot with. This original story taking place in the Monster High universe will pay tribute to other theatrical coming-of-age films like American Pie, Mean Girls, Sleepover. This film will also be set between 2012 and 2013, as a reference to the franchise's original launch in 2010. Because of this, there will also be callbacks to the early 2010s, such as Easter eggs, references and even some licensed music that comes from that time and earlier. One more thing, there's a post-credits scene that parodies Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Now, let's move on to... Let's see here. What could an Illumination Monster High movie look like? Wait a minute, I did say Super Mario Bros. Treatment, didn't I? Well, if that applies to the story, then it should apply to the animation as well. As a tribute to the whole Monster High franchise, we're placing Gen 1 attires onto character designs mixing Gens 2 and 3. That should look similar to the human characters in the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Monster High seniors will offer a Disney-esque take on Monster High. The backgrounds will expand the world, or should I say, multiverse of Monster High, as the school itself is located in the new environment of Monster City, a gothic utopia filled to the brim with all kinds of businesses, homes, and sites that reference not only monsters, but also goth culture as a whole. But that is some of the monster realm that we'll see in this movie. The human realm is just a cartoon version of our world. The Monster High School is redesigned to look as big as a real high school, while still maintaining the haunted house aesthetic at the same time. But, just because this animation is Disney-esque, that doesn't mean it won't be stylized a bit. As a nod to the 2D renders of Generation 1 and the IDW comics, this film will be cel-shaded in the likes of Sony Pictures Animation's recent films. The visual slapstick and facial expressions will pay tribute to newspaper comic strip and Japanese anime. This will look amazing on the big screen. Now let's move on to... On my last movie pitch, I put up a rule when fan casting the teen characters of Sleepover. I gave that remake pitch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles treatment by casting actual teenagers as those characters. With Monster High, on the other hand, I think I had no choice but to ditch that rule. That is because of the adult characters in these two IPs. When it comes to Sleepover, the adults get plenty of screen time so that the actors I fan cast as them can give that remake enough star power. The adults in Monster High get way less screen time than that, since this will be more of a teen movie than Sleepover, if you know what I mean. Besides, this fan casting will fall in line with other Illumination movies, and have big-name celebrities as the ghouls and monsters, no matter their age. Here's the hypothetical casting for Monster High seniors.
I'm really open. Whether that be writing another book, or whether that be trying my hand in film and TV, whether that be working more as a writer, I'm really open to all those things that may inspire me.
Love is stronger than any gun. I'm not sure about that, no.
I'm gonna do what God tells me to do. And he has told me and my family specifically to do certain things. But you know what he's never told me to do? He's never told me to walk up to somebody and demean them, or judge them in any way, or say something to them that's not respectful and out of love.
Gosh, well, the script just made me laugh out loud so much when I was reading it the first time I read it. I really, Paige's sarcasm and humor, I love it, and I think it was just a really fun opportunity for me to practice my comedy skills.
We were having an argument one day. He was saying he was hungry, I was saying I was hungry. He was saying I eat more, I was saying that's just rubbish, I eat a lot. And he was like, well, I'm a guy, and then that was the end of it.
Thank you for getting me out of there. Aladdin, isn't it? How could you tell? Impressive.
There's a line in the show where we're talking about vices, and Sadie's character goes, oh, vices are fine unless it's an empty stomach and a zodiac full of Zima. And that one really took me a while to wrap my brain around. Didn't know what a zodiac was, apparently it's a water bottle. Didn't know what Zima was, apparently it's an alcohol.
Okay, Toothless, okay, yes, I know. Shh. Oh, Astrid, I had him right where I wanted him. Yeah, really? Do you think you and I should, No, that's crazy. No, that's crazy.
No! Look at me. Actually, don't. Close your eyes and imagine me from last year. Don't! Stop reeling at the passions of time. Protect me.
Being misunderstood. I think she's very misunderstood. I think she never got to be the princess when she was a little girl, and so now she just desperately wants the pinnacle of her thievery is to get the crown jewels. And to get that crown on her head will make everything right, which we know in the end, stuff doesn't make things better, but she's gonna get that crown.
Excuse me, I'm here to see Emperor Kuzco. You see, I got this song.
Of course, this is just the main cast of this hypothetical movie. There will be cameos of other Monster High characters, which can be voiced by either their original Gen 1 voice actors, or they can be voiced by internet personalities, especially the ones that are huge fans of the franchise. Now, let's move on to the last thing in this pitch, which is the music of Monster High Seniors will be a mixture of three things. The original score, of course, the licensed music, which I talked about in the story portion of this pitch, and some original songs. Firstly, the score should be composed by Henry Jackman, who is capable of many music styles, and should capture the aesthetic of both Monster High and the early 2010s pretty nicely. But the original songs on the other hand should be performed by artists that are associated with the aesthetics that Monster High is. From the goth culture to the scene kid, to the Fruitiger Metro to the mid-bling, to the teen emo to the girly galaxy. These aesthetics have sounds of their own, and they should mix together in these original songs. You can think of all the artists that fit in any of these aesthetics, and they should make great songs for this Monster High movie. And that's all I got with my pitch for an Illumination Monster High movie, called Monster High Seniors. Thank you guys for watching this Halloween special, and, again, happy 15th anniversary to Monster High. I hope you enjoy seeing my ideas for what a theatrical Monster High film would be like. Make sure you like, comment, and share this video, and subscribe to this channel to get some good stuff like my future film pitches, my countdowns, and other videos. Why not also go on my Linktree to follow me elsewhere and support me on Venmo and Patreon, where I can make commissions and requested reviews, and get funding for my first animated web series Game Schooled. This is Koizi, signing out.